Well, we are getting ready to put a brand new radio into Bagheera. We're getting ready to do a trip, and I've got a new radio, and we're going to put it in, and we're going to test it during this trip. Well, what is this new radio? Well, it is the new Midland Micro Mobile Pro MXT295. Pretty interesting features on here, stuff that I've never seen before. So we'll take a look at it, see what it's all about. We'll get her installed, and then we'll go do some real world testing with it. Now, talk about some specs on here. 22 standard GMRS channels, 28 pre-programmed memory privacy channels, 8 repeater channels, split privacy tones, narrow and wideband, dual watch and call alert, Bluetooth headset compatible, adjustable color and brightness LED, scan list editing, silent operation, USB-C charging port. It comes with an antenna, a 2.1 dB gain antenna, 3-year warranty, and 2 things that are really going to stand out. Number 1, it's 15 watts. Now, I've only ever had 50-watt mobile units. Going to 15, is that going to make a difference? Yeah, probably not, actually. Because from standing right here with a 5-watt walkie-talkie, I can reach a repeater that is 36 miles away because I have direct line of sight to it. GMRS works on line of sight. So power really isn't the overriding reason to get range. It's going to be a match between the radio and the antenna and making sure that you have line of sight. If you're on one side of a hill and the person you're talking to is on the other side of the hill, it doesn't matter how many watts you have, you're not going to get very far. So 15 watts, I don't see that as being a problem. The next thing that is very, very different about this is the microphone. And this is the microphone. Now you might notice something right off the top about this microphone. There's no wire. This is a Bluetooth microphone connecting to the mobile unit. So that is extremely different and unique. The radio itself, pull that out of the box here. Very small. Really nothing on it. There is a USB port on the front that you could use to charge something else, charge the microphone if you want to. A very basic operation on here because you can do everything from the microphone. That is really cool. On the back, we have our power cords going here. One for a PA system and one for an external microphone. You've got your antenna connector, and you've got something else. Oh, intercom, I believe. So it's got a bunch of features on here that we'll take a look at. But I'm really curious about the handheld being Bluetooth. I want to see what kind of range it has. I want to see if I step out to spot somebody, how far away can I get just holding this without having to grab a walkie-talkie? That's going to be really interesting. So we're going to go ahead, get this installed in Bagheera, get it out on the trails, and see how it works. Now, big thank you to Midland for sending this to me to review. They did send it at no cost, and I really have no obligations to say anything good or bad about it. So you are going to get my 100% honest, no BS review on here. If there's things that I don't like about it, I'm going to tell you about it. So there's that. Let's get going. Okay, it's time to do the install. So we need to go through the box here and see what all we have, what we're going to use, and what we're not going to use. Now, fortunately, I already have a Midland radio installed in here, so I have the wiring for the electrical. It does come with a cord to go to a cigarette lighter adapter. We're not going to use that because we basically have the same thing, but it's permanently wired into the electrical system. So don't need this at all. I'm just going to be able to plug right in to the existing. So you could either use this if you don't want to hardwire it, or cut this off and wire it directly into your battery or aux switch or something else. Then it has a handful of little mounts for the microphone. We'll see what we need there. It's got one that will go into the clip like this, so you could hang it somewhere, and it has a magnetic mount that I guess, oh, here we go. There is a magnetic plate that you could mount somewhere, and boom, just have a mag mount for it. That's pretty cool. I may end up using this because that is a very, very strong magnet. So we may use this so we could put the microphone anywhere we want since there's no cords. Then it also comes with a little, this appears to be, yep, a magnetic antenna. So you could just throw this up somewhere. The problem with Jeeps is almost everything exposed, like the hood and stuff, are aluminum. So magnetic's not going to work. And you can't put it on your Freedom panels because they're fiberglass. So that would be a small problem for some people. So again, fortunately, I have a really good antenna already installed. So not going to need the antenna. It also comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable so you can charge the microphone. So all we really need to do for this install is mount the mount. So somehow this slides out of there. There we go. And this should be reversible, so you could mount this either that way or that way. And in my case, I'm mounted on the MOLLE panel above, so I'll just put a screw through there to hold it in place. And I really don't need any access to this, I don't think, because you'll just turn it on with the microphone. So this could be hidden away underneath a one of the seats. It could be up underneath the dash, but I want this up on the MOLLE panel because this does have a speaker in it. The microphone has a speaker as well, so you could use either or both. So we'll see which works the best. So really, in my situation, all I need to do is get the mount up there and plug everything in, and we should be pretty well good to go. So we'll get inside and get the old radio pulled out and figure out what we need to do to get the mount in place. Okay, I've got the mount secured up here on the MOLLE panel, and all I should have to do plug it in, plug the wire in, plug the antenna in, and I should be ready to go. Okay, looks like we got things connected. Says power on.
Base unit connected.
Okay, pretty straightforward. We got all of our channels on here. We've got repeater channels. This thing is nice and light. I love it. I mean, just to be able to walk around and, try it. So the question is, how far away can I get and still have it work? So we're going to try that next. Okay, I've got the handheld over there, and I've got the base unit microphone in my hand. So if everything works, this will transmit to the mobile unit inside the Jeep, and we should be able to hear it on the handheld. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, that's pretty that's pretty cool. All right, let's see Maybe we can step away. And 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it's got some decent range. Kind of happy with that. So I could jump out if I needed to spot someone and just grab this and not have to grab a walkie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starts getting a little broken up, about 30 feet. That is kind of nifty. It kind of takes the place of having to grab a walkie-talkie at times. If I'm too far away, it's not going to work. But if I just need to step out real quick and still need to have communication, this is going to work really cool. So, interesting. Very interesting. Didn't think I was going to have any real use for a Bluetooth microphone. So now the question is, where are we going to mount it? So I still have the old mount up on top here. So I could use just the little clip mount and slide it right in there. But I'm thinking I want it somewhere more accessible, and I just don't know where that's going to be yet. So I'll play around with some ideas and see if I can come up with something. Now I'm just going to use the mount that I already had mounted. It just makes it real easy to grab it, pull it out, and because it sits pretty close to my head, I can just key down on it right here and someone's going to be able to hear me just fine. But if I need it for anything, I want to change the channels or whatever, I can just grab it and have easy access to it. So I think that's going to work. Now the next thing is, how well is this going to work while we're out on the trails? And we are leaving in just a couple days, and we'll see. That's all we can do. Give it a good test, see how things work, and end up deciding if this is a good unit or not. I'm sure it's from Midland. I'm sure it's going to be. But how useful is the Bluetooth? How long does the battery last? All that good stuff. We'll get it figured out. Okay, so let's talk about it. I've been using it for about a month now, and got it mounted up nice and secure on here. I've got the microphone right here, real easy to grab, and we'll turn it on. Everything starts connecting.
Connected.
And I will say, I don't know if you can see that. The battery looks to be around 75%. I have charged this once, and we have taken this out for probably 7-8 days total now, and this thing's fully charged. So it's a little crazy how well this works. Now there was some like weirdness in one of the setup things, because you can have the audio come out of here or the microphone or both. Well, if they're both here, there's a tiny lag when it's coming out of the microphone, because this is Bluetooth. And so it's just really kind of annoying, kind of a sound when they're right next to each other. So I wanted to turn off the bass unit, and I would turn it off in the settings, and for some reason it wouldn't stick. And then I turned it off, and when I turned it back on, it was working the way I had it set up. So I'm not sure if there's just a little quirkiness to it that once you save it, completely turn everything off and then turn it back on again. Maybe that's all it took. The fact that it's only 15 watts, now that in and of itself is not a problem. On the trail, zero problems talking to each other. Sitting here in my driveway, trying to hit the downtown Denver repeater that is 36 miles away, they said I was a little staticky, where sometimes with some of the radios I've tested, they say I come in loud and clear. Well, those are 50-watt radios. So take that for what it's worth, man. I'm like looking through houses right across the street on my way to that repeater. So it's not a perfect clean line of sight. And 15 watts was hitting it, just not as good as the more powerful radios that I've had in here. But how often do I need to reach out 36 miles? And the answer is, in practice, zero total times. I need to be able to go a mile or two to make sure I can talk to all the people that are in a group. That's it. That's what trail communications are for me. They're short range communication, and this does a phenomenal job. It's nice, it's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, it's not adding to anything. The Bluetooth microphone, Katarina says it feels a little bulky in her hand because we're not used to having a microphone that's got all the controls on it. We're used to a little more compact one where all the controls are on the radio itself. Personal preference, right? I don't mind it at all. I think it's got a good feel to it. And I can get out and walk around the vehicle holding this, using it like a walkie-talkie when I'm talking to someone else. If I need to jump out and spot someone, as long as I'm within like 30 feet of the vehicle, this works as a walkie-talkie in my hand. It's great how well this works. So there's going to be some pros and cons to it, but I think the pros definitely outweigh the few tiny little disadvantages that for most people may never even show up in day-to-day use. So I'm a pretty big fan of it. I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to leave this in here because I love this. In fact, my biggest concern of everything is losing this because it's not wired. I am going to step out of the vehicle. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to walk away or drive away, and I'm going to forget this somewhere. And that is a small problem for me because I'm just klutzy that way. That is not an inherent design problem. That is a me problem. So I got to figure that out. It would be nice if there was some spot on here that you could attach a little lanyard or something so I could stick it in my hand. So if I dropped it, it wouldn't go away and stuff like that. And it doesn't come with a belt clip attachment for the microphone. So it'd be nice if there was one of these style, the round ones that I could put on my belt. So when I step out, I could just clip this on my belt. That would be really handy. So there's a few little things that they could tweak to make it a little bit better. But overall, I think this is a fantastic radio, and you're not going to go wrong if you pick one up. So that's my review of it. And thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks to Midland for sending this over to us so we could try it out in advance. We really appreciate it. And stay safe out there. We'll see you on the trails.